How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going over the top 5 units for TEQ, and I am joined by D3 again. Say hi.
Hey, thanks to be here. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. I'm a little tired, so forgive me for that. Anyways.
Fine. And if you haven't seen the first video, we went over the top 5 agility type units, so I will leave that linked in the description and obviously at the end of the video, which you will be able to click on, hopefully if I remember.
Yeah, anyway. I'm going to say right now that we're recording this right after the other one, the AGL one, so I already know that there's somebody on that AGL video that didn't like me, and I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. I appreciate the love. Anyways, let's go.
Okay. Hey, anyway, I was about to say something cringy there, and I was like, yeah, let's stop. So, in the number 5 spot, we have Base Vegito. Now, he is potentially one of the best support units in the game, if not the best support unit in the game. With his Dokkan, he gives an attack and defensive boost. Initially, he only gave a defensive boost. Initially he only gave an attack boost. Now he gives a 30% attack and defensive boost, and with his super attack, whenever he performs it, he gives another 25% attack boost, which is crazy. He has really good links. His main key link is Prepared for Battle, and he also has Fierce Battle, so he's going to be hitting relatively hard himself, but he's just an incredible unit overall. Do you have anything to say about him?
Not necessarily. He in particular does not hit very hard. I mean, I guess he probably could, because he does have Supreme.
Around 100k.
Yeah,
okay.
For me, I like Super Tech 4. He hits like 120, 30k on Monotech. Nothing crazy, but you choose that and his passive and all his stuff, you know, as far as the increases he gives to other units, like 50%, 55% attack, whatever it is. I'd take that on top of my Go Tanks, man, because it's ridiculous. So, that being said, he deserves a slot here, because even though he's not your traditional hard hitter, he does make everybody else he's with at the time hit harder. So that's another factor of the game. It's not all about their own individual damage output.
Yeah, and he obviously does help other units, as you mentioned, like Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks, LR Goku,
exactly,
who hit hard enough already. And I personally was considering putting maybe Bardock or the Dragon Ball Super Saiyan Trunks in there because of how hard they hit, and obviously LR Bardock is extremely useful, especially when you use LR Goku. But in the end we did decide to go with Vegito just because he is probably the best supporting unit for this type.
I think he's the best one in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue, it's kind of hard to argue with that. I mean, you have the new physical Super Trunks, who is really good, but overall Vegito is definitely the best, and he also has Fierce Battle, which is obviously great.
He also does, yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing. He's also, not only is he giving other units attack and stuff like that, via his passive and his super attack, he's giving them boosts through his own links. So, that's another factor.
What else can you ask for?
Exactly.
Right, so...
Well, I could ask for Super Saiyan, because if he had Super Saiyan, he'd be perfect.
Yeah, even more damage. Okay, now this one, like, me and Donnie don't really like this unit. Golden Frieza. Now, his restriction is the worst thing about this card easily. He has immense damage, so he is going to hit hard. But what's the point if he loses it? He doesn't provide anything as soon as he loses his passive skill. His main link is Shocking Speed, which isn't very common for the TEQ type. The only other units that have it that you'd probably use are Beerus and the Ultimate Gohan from the World Tournament. But apart from that, I don't think he has any other good things about him.
So, like, on a face value level, you know, which is why he's on this list, just looking at him from face value, he is a really solid unit, just innately that way. I mean, immense modifier. It's already not that common, amongst most of the units in the game. It innately means he'll be one of the hottest hitters in the game anyway. He does get 70% more attack. He also can reduce incoming damage by 70%, which is, both of those are really good passives. The problem with him is that 50%, and then when you take a step back and look at him from the teams that he'd be run on, unless you run a specialized team that lowers attack and stuff like that, 50% on TEQ is not easy to maintain sometimes. It's not always the easiest thing to maintain, and so when you don't maintain it, you don't get his attack boost either. So then you get a unit that, one, unless you're running specialized units like TEQ Whis or TEQ Pycon, Beerus, if you don't run units like that, or Gohan, he's not linking well, so he's not very useful there. His attack is gone, so he's not going to hit hard, even if he does have immense, unless he's max super attack, I guess. He's not tanking anything, so he's basically useless. We talked about usefulness versus uselessness with the Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku on the other video, and he becomes basically useless when he loses all of his stuff, and he's not on like a team that has Over in a Flash commonly. So this guy, when he's working, he's really good. But when he's not working, he's not very good. And another thing I wanted to kind of point out really quick is we obviously didn't talk about AGL Tanker Golden Frieza in the other video.
Oh, true.
Reason why people, I wanted to kind of clarify this really quick. Reason why people don't like TEQ Frieza versus AGL Frieza, because even though they have both have the same passive, it's 10 times easier to maintain that on AGL because you have Super Vegito there. So since you have Super Vegito there, you're already tanking hits. So when Frieza spawns, you're already above 50%. On TEQ, if you look at the TEQ group, all their units are hard hitters. You have Gotenks, Zamasu, LR Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Dragon Ball Super Trunks. Everybody that's on TEQ is a damager, so it's not easy to maintain. So that's the only reason that he's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, LR Goku can somewhat tank, but he's obviously can't tank anywhere near as good as Golden Frieza normally would.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just because his defense stack gets really high. I mean, if you want to say that, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken tanks really well on normal attacks too on Mono AGL.
And I don't know, the fact that he loses his attack boost as well, it's just such a letdown. They could have taken away his tanking ability and just kept the attack boost because he still hit really hard.
He could have gotten unconditional attack boost and then lost the passive at 50% for the tanking. They could have done that.
He is still providing something. He isn't just sitting there. He isn't linking. He isn't just doing anything.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate because, I personally think that TEQ does need a tank, but Golden Frieza is an okay option, but he definitely isn't the best by any means. I honestly think you'd be better off just running a team of hard hitters, because you do need a specific set of units to fully optimize Golden Frieza. As you mentioned, obviously Pycon and TEQ, and it's just too much of a hassle.
Yeah, I mean, that all things considered, like we said, that is a situation-based opinion or a diagnostic on Frieza. If you look at him from a face value level, set everything else aside as far as units you'd run him with, he's still one of the best TEQ units in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Our mini analysis / rant on Golden Frieza. Okay, so third spot, LR Goku. Now, you're probably wondering, wow, he's one of the hardest hitters in the game. Why would you put him in the number 3 spot? Reason being, he doesn't have the best links, and you need Bardock to fully optimize him.
Yeah, so he's really dependent on the Bardock. That doesn't mean that he needs him, but he's really dependent on him because Bardock has a lot of links with him. Bardock also changes orbs for him, so Bardock is basically his best friend. We talked about how Android 18 AGL is a great option for Mono AGL with androids. Bardock is one of the best units for TEQ to run, and he probably is a really optimal TEQ unit, especially if you're bringing LR Goku. All things considered, though, he does have bad links. He does require 24 key or 18 key, whatever it is, to get to like his top potential. So that's one of the drawbacks as to why he can't be the best TEQ unit.
And taking into consideration that 25% of LR Goku's attack comes from his links with Bardock.
Yeah.
That's 25% is pretty huge. Bardock is a great unit by himself. He obviously just doesn't provide the orbs for LR Goku, but he also seals super attacks, which is great. But yeah, despite being one of the hardest hitting units in the game, despite being a decent tank, I think he deserves to have the number 3 spot.
Yeah, I completely agree with that diagnostic. I keep saying diagnostic, but I mean diagnosis.
Yeah. It's fine. People know what you mean, hopefully.
No, they're going to correct me.
Yeah. Alright, so in the number 2 spots we have Merge Zamasu. So many people are going to be like, wow, Merge Zamasu's second spot, really? His 10% down to tech types or super types really isn't that big of a deal. Big shout out to the Dokkan subreddit. There was a page talking about how much this affects the units, and he only takes 50k away from LR Goku's attack, which is essentially nothing. And to other units like Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, that amount is even smaller. So you can definitely run him on a monotech team easily. He doesn't have the best links for a monotech team. He does have Fuse Fighter, which he obviously shares with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Vegito. And he does have really good villain links. they do want you to run him on a villain team, but you can definitely run him on a monotech team as well. He also has an unconditional 120% attack boost, which makes him one of the hardest hitting tech type units, and just a really great unit overall.
Yeah, as far as monotech goes, I'm sure it wouldn't be that big of a deal, especially if you kept him paired with Tech Vegito, who would, kind of mitigate that and increase their attack anyway, regardless of him lowering it by 10%.
It just cancels it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway.
I mean, and then on top of that, he's still, what is he, like number 6 hardest hitter in the game anyway, period?
I think you're right. Either 6 or 5, which is insane.
Just overall, amongst all units in the game, he's still one of the hardest hitters, so he deserves a spot. It's kind of self-explanatory at this point. I mean, he doesn't have the best links, but if LR Goku deserves a spot, so does he.
Yeah, easily. And then, obviously, in the number 1 spot, who else but God Tanked? He's just a really hard hitter. I think his main problem is that you do need to be careful with how you place your orbs, because you do want to be getting that 11 key the majority of the time. 9 to 10 key isn't too bad, but it doesn't really hit anywhere as much as 11 key. His main link is obviously Over and Flash, which not many top tier tech type units have. I think it's actually the only one.
Top tier, yeah.
Is there another tech type unit with Over and Flash?
Majin Vegeta.
Yeah, he's a weird choice though.
Yeah, you wouldn't run him generally.
I mean, unless you want the stun, but there are better stunners anyway, obviously in Whis and Ultimate Gohan.
Yep.
Yeah, God Tank is basically one of those generic hard hitters. He can lower defense with his 12 key super attack, which isn't bad at all. But his main purpose is definitely to hit hard. Basically, Tech is just full of hard hitters.
Yep.
Like, just by having a look at this list, you have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, Merge Masu, LR Goku. Golden Frieza actually does hit pretty hard himself, obviously, because he has immense. Vegito isn't as hard of a hitter, but obviously he does give an attack boost to all of these other units. So, you can just see where we're going with this and how they are just the hardest hitters in the game.
I just wanted to specify really quick that the hardest hitters in the game, that whole list from top 1 through 6 or whatever it is, features 3 of these tech units.
Yep, that just tells you how much Tech relies on hardest hitters. I'm actually trying to find a list at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gotenks is number 3 now.
I think you're right. I think it goes LR Goku and then...
Yeah, it's Frieza, LR Frieza, then Goku, and then Gotenks, and Broly's in there somewhere.
Okay, so number 1, LR Frieza. 2, Black. 3 is LR Goku. 4, Merge Masu. And 5, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nasty.
That is insane. So you have 3 tech-type units in the top 5. Yeah, I think that's telling us something, that Tech just loves those attack boosts.
I think that's self-explanatory enough. I mean, Gotenks is an amazing unit, regardless. Amazing leader skill, too. Works great on the hero team, too. Just overall awesome card. Just is really, really good. The only drawback with him, as Alex said, is that you do have to kind of manage him, but it's not that big of a deal. They want you to work for, his 11 key. So you got to be smart about it sometimes, but it's not that big of a problem. Gotenks is worth it.
Yeah, and honestly, for me personally, I think that getting 11 key is kind of awkward, because trying to find 5 key exactly can be a bit of a problem for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I sometimes do like to link him up with Vegito just to give him that extra 2 key, because 3 key is pretty common for me anyway, and I don't mind him getting key on the map pre-battle, because that just makes it easier, as I said before, for me anyway. But obviously, if he does manage to get that 11 key straight off the bat, you're basically going to be stuck with 12 key for the entire battle, which can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I said he runs really well on heroes, but I want to kind of put the stipulation in there that he runs better if you run with either double Trunks lead or one Trunks and Vegito blue lead.
Just think about how many top tier units now, especially, have that Over and Flash link on a hero's team. You have Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Kaiken, Vegito Blue. Yeah,
Gotenks.
Yeah, Gotenks. You definitely want to go with that Trunks lead, and I honestly think that Trunks lead is extremely underrated. Sorry, people think that you are losing out on that 2 key, which is very important. It's not that important at all. When you have so many top tier units with links like Shocking Speed, Over and Flash, Prepare for Battle, it really isn't a problem at all.
And Fused Fighter and Golden Warrior, too.
Yeah, like, you're definitely not going to struggle for Ki if you have a Trunks lead. Or even a double Trunks lead, for that matter.
Yeah, double Trunks works actually really well. I've run it.
Wow. You going to showcase that for us?
No.
Okay.
Maybe one of these days.
maybe one day. There you go. Go ahead and spam his comment section. Anyway, we've pretty much covered everything for the tech type. Next, we are going to do int, so definitely come back for that. I will leave the Freeze channel checked, linked in the comment section and in the description down below. We hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.